My name is Andrew Nyamayaro. I'm a solicitor at Tanlo Solicitors. Today I'm just here to briefly explain to you the policy that has been introduced by the Home Office, which relates to young people who are applying for naturalization or citizenship in the United Kingdom. On the 26th of May 2022, the Home Office introduced the affordability fee waiver citizenship registration for individuals under the age of 18. I am making this presentation on the assumption that the people concerned already qualify for naturalization or citizenship one way or the other, whether it's through birth or any other way that is available to them under the British Nationality Act of 1981. So this policy has been issued so that those young people or persons who want to make an application for naturalization or citizenship but face financial hardship or lifestyle hardships can be able to make these applications. So the application can be made online or it can be made as a paper application. Where you make the application as a paper application, the guidance says that you have to submit the fee waiver application together with the main application. The Home Office will ordinarily consider the fee waiver application first, and if you are successful, then they will proceed straight away to consider the main application based on its own merits. The Home Office, when considering an application, have to consider credibility of the application. In other words, they have to see all your circumstances and they have to analyze all your circumstances, the circumstances of the applicant, the circumstances of the parents or the parent who has got sole caring position of the applicant, or if there is joint or mutual care of the child where the parents are separated, they might have to look at their circumstances individually if the other parent is involved. If the other parent is not involved at all, the Home Office will just consider the circumstances of the parent that is involved in the life of the applicant. So what they do consider is what they've called the affordability test. They want to see that you are able to afford or you're not able to afford the application. In other words, you have to give them all your information in relation to your income and your expenses, all your various jobs, if you've got so many jobs, investments, savings, if you've got properties that are outside the country, foreign-based properties, you have to disclose everything. In case you might have other properties that might be converted to cash to be able to pay for the fee waiver, to pay for the Home Office fees. So they really have to scrutinize all your financial information, all your lifestyle information. For example, even if you say that you don't have sufficient money for the fee waiver, but after considering the application, they believe that you earn enough money, you've got sufficient savings, but you are living above what they expect to be your lifestyle. You are spending excessively on things that they do not consider as essential, then they might refuse the application on that basis. As I have stated, the evidence that you need to submit include your bank statements, P60, P45, utility bills, tenants agreements, evidence of your expenditure, evidence of your income in the UK and outside the UK. It could be evidence for the applicant themselves or evidence of the parents who are involved in the life of the applicant. If you do not submit sufficient evidence and information, the Home Office might reject the application. From experience, normally they give you a chance to submit evidence. If they think that there's additional information that they need, they will normally email or they will normally write you a letter to say, submit such and such evidence before we make a decision on your case. If they believe you've got sufficient savings or you can get rid of your assets to convert them assets to cash to pay for the Home Office fees, then they might say you have to dispose of those assets. For example, you've got a second car, They might say sell the second car, or you've got land in the UK or properties in the UK which they think that you might dispose of, or even outside the country. Any person under the age of 18 qualify for this fee waiver subject to meeting the requirements. And if the applicant turns 18 during the process of the application, then the application will be considered as if they are still under the age of 18. And if the application is successful and now they're over the age of 18, then there will also be the code that is generated will also cover their citizenship ceremony costs as well, which is normally done at the local council house or the local townhouse. So that will be covered as well. There are circumstances where the fee waiver has to be made for several members of the same family. So if you've got 2 or 3 children that qualify for naturalization and you cannot still afford their fees, the Home Office states that you have to make an application for each individual. So each individual is considered, but the whole application is considered as one unit, although each applicant have to submit their own application. I envisage a situation whereby maybe one of the applicants maybe has been gifted some money or has been donated some assets, and then the others don't have. So that person who seems to have better position in terms of finance and assets might have their application rejected or refused, whilst the other family members might have their applications accepted and granted. So they will look at individual circumstances, even if it's a family, and ultimately they will consider it as a unit or as one. Each person is granted their own code, which is then inputted into the application. If it's an online one or if it has been submitted as paper applications, then they will be considered like that. Further, if any applicant or the parents are in receipt of public benefits or public funds, then the Home Office will consider that as part of the income as well. The guidance also states that the Home Office will consider income or document or evidence covering the past 6 months preceding the application. Another situation that might arise is where someone is on a 0 hours contract. So the Home Office will consider the 6 months preceding the application, even if someone is on a 0 hours contract. So whatever income that you got in the 6 months prior to the application is what the Home Office will consider. The Home Office has not set up any specific service standards, so there is no specific time in which the Home Office will consider the application, but it will be in the best interest of each child or applicant for the Home Office to consider the application as soon as possible. The overriding consideration of these applications is the best interest of the minor child. So the Home Office has to consider the best interest of the minor child in assessing the credibility of the evidence, the affordability test, and everything that they are considering. Even when it comes to evidential flexibility, they have to consider the best interest of the minor child. So this is my brief presentation on what the Home Office has introduced for a fee waiver. Potentially, applications for naturalization and citizenship ceremony will now qualify for a fee waiver subject to the evidence and meeting the tests that the Home Office have set down. If you want to know more, if you want us to advise you according to your specific circumstances, do not hesitate to contact us. My name is Andrew. I'm a solicitor at Tanlo Solicitors. Our office number is 02477632323 or mobile 07421429338. Our email is info@tanlaw.co.uk. Thank you.